Well, then we'll try it this way. All right. Hi, folks. Welcome to this edition of the UsePLR training. Um, my name is Jen Brockman. I'm from UsePLR.com. I'm here with my partner, Ruthie, over there. I'm not sure. However, somebody's looking at their screen. That's Ruthie. She's my partner in PLR, UsePLR.com. And today we have Charlene Burke with us. She's here as our special training guest. And she's going to tell us and show us, I think, how to use PLR to create emails and email sequences. So, Charlene, I'm going to let you just take over. Tell us a little bit about you and take over.
Fantastic. First, thank you, Jen and Ruth, for inviting me to be a guest trainer. Thank you for trusting me to provide quality information for your members. I greatly appreciate that. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go directly into share screen and introduce myself as I get into my presentation here. Yay, that's me behind my computer back when I was a redhead. Anyway, today I'm going to cover how to use PLR for email content. Why? Because honest to God's truth, there is no need to go start from zero or scratch when you have PLR. Yes, it is that simple. All right, so about me. Yep. Sorry about that. About me, my name is Charlene Burke. I am currently a writer of copy and content for business marketing and personal development professionals and companies. I do have a background in business marketing, engineering, business research, competitive intelligence, and group facilitation. I have two arms to my business. My actual business is named Search by Burke, and it was founded in 2008. At that time, I founded it as a business research competitive intelligence company and swiftly pivoted as the recession hit and pivoted again numerous times over these past years, so that now I work with clients and create info products designed to improve yourself and make your business run more smoothly. The arm of my business that is truly content PLR oriented is Grow PLR. I've been writing PLR for many years for other people, and in 2019 decided that that was a good time to test the waters to see if having my own PLR site was a viable option as a revenue source for my business and as a way to get quality content in the hands of people who are interested in a variety of PLR. You can find me at searchbyburke.com, growplr.com. Okay, I am an email writer. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is what I have been doing for the past, I'm going to say 14 months, maybe 15 months. I have written thousands of emails, and I've written emails for, as an example, right, a sex therapist who also sells adult toys, doggy psychologist, credit repair agencies. Pick a coach, literally, pick a coach. I have written emails for them. Males, females, I don't know what I identify as, but I am a coach. People, tech startups. I've written for services. If it is a service such as plumbing, chiropractic, or other home improvement, ads, running ads, ads management, products, selling big machinery internationally, to the little shed that goes in the backyard, could also be a she shed, and housing developers, education. I have written a series of emails for a university, a local college, and so many online courses that I did wonder if I was going back to school too often. Photographers and all kinds of photographers, from boudoir photography to children, to babies, to portraitures, and affiliate marketers and all the niches that they participate in. And yes, so I specialize in writing email sequences. More specifically, what I specialize in is the follow-up sequence. because I truly, truly believe that the money is in the follow-up, and the best way to do follow-up is by email. The hundreds of sequences, hundreds of professionals and companies for a few different reasons. The follow-up portion is, I want you to think about this. After someone subscribes to your list, you follow up with them. After they have attended your webinar, after they've downloaded a video, maybe they listened to a podcast, saw a presentation, after you've talked with them on the phone, after they filled out the cart but didn't buy, also known as the abandoned cart sequence, after they buy a product or service, after they read your last email. Oh goodness, the sequences I have sent and written. Now here are the bunch of different reasons to send that email, right? You want to introduce yourself. It's an initial communication. It's a cold email, maybe. Maybe you want to introduce someone else as a referral. You want to sell a product or service. You want to inform your subscribers about something in your business. It also could be you want to inform your network. Maybe it's not a subscription, but it's a network of people. You want to ask for information, either from your subscriber, your network, or your connections. Maybe you want to remind somebody to take an action. A lot of people, honestly, need to be sending emails that don't, for this very reason down at the bottom, and it's to offer consistent communication with subscribers. You see, all of these other reasons to send emails are very goal-oriented. There's a specific reason. So it's reasonably easy to send one out, right? When you have this specific of a reason to send it. Where people trip up, and this is why I'm here today, is they're not offering consistent communication with subscribers. The value email, the tip or the technique or the insight that they can't get anywhere else but from you. And they're on your list, so you have an opportunity to shine. That's what we're going to do today. That's why we're going to talk about the email itself first, though, just in case you are not aware that each email has three parts. There's the subject or headline, and that really has to reflect the main point of the content. You do not do bait and switch. You don't get too creative or quirky with your headlines. You want to make sure that it's reflective of what the person's going to read. Your body focuses on one idea and it aligns with the goal for that email. Your call to action is related to the content and aligns with a goal for that email. Keeps it simple, keeps it easy for you to manage and for you to write. Second, that content can come from anything. See, we're going to be talking about PLR. Think about all the types of content you have in your PLR packages in your hard drive. You've got reports, you got checklists, cheat sheets, white papers, ebooks, guides, lists, checklists, I just said that, FAQ lists, right? A slide deck. What I am showing you now can become content for an email. I'm not going to do that. It's a little advanced. We're not going to do that this time, though. Audios can become content for email. And third, your email has two purposes. The first is to be valuable to your reader, and the second is to eventually make you money. All right, so let's use some PLR to create an email. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to set a goal. We're going to find a piece of content that supports the goal. We're going to edit it so it's appropriate for an email, and then we're going to add a call to action. So the goal for the email we're going to do today is to educate my subscriber and recommend a product for them to purchase. The call to action is, I have a product that I sell, and it's related to the content, so I'm going to add a link for them to click. Yes, this link could also be an affiliate link, so it's not necessary that you have your own products. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find a piece of content. This is the inside of one of the PLR packages that I have. And it happens to be Safe Stretching for Seniors. As you can see, there are multiple folders. There's 9 of them. Every one of them holds content that I could use. In this case, I decided that I'm going to go the easy route and I'm going to go with an article. And that's because it's already set up in bullet points for me. So the secret here, if you aren't used to using PLR for your emails yet, right? This is going to be your first time. Let's keep it as easy and as simple as possible. If you have an article in your, or a guide, right? Or an ebook that has one chapter in it that has a list of 5, a list of 3, a list of 2. They're already bullet points for you, and those make for perfect emails. So let's take a look at what that article actually looks like. The title is 5 Ways to Improve Stability for a Senior. And as you can see, this is exactly what you would copy paste in as a blog post. It could be used as an article on another social media platform. If you thought it was appropriate on LinkedIn, you could do that. You can also see it's 530 words and it's pretty long. We do not want this to go into a simple value-based email, right? Instead, we're going to edit it. So I'm going to give you some tips here. You're going to keep in mind what your subscriber cares about as you edit. Whenever possible, use the word you or a derivation of it, all right? It's all about your reader. You is a beautiful word in an email. You know the subject matter, so edit accordingly. It's really okay to infuse your personality. So if you speak in a casual manner, do so in your emails. If you're very formal, do so in your emails. If you're quirky and you want to start your emails with a pun, feel free. This is you that's sharing information. Ultimately, though, I want you to keep it brief. I do not want you doing a blog post here. That is not the purpose. So the first thing we're going to look at is the subject line. I ran through a bunch of different options. I brainstormed. I want you to see how many times I use the word you, your, you, your. And that's what guided me to brainstorm these possible subject lines. Yes, can easily just use the 5 ways to improve your stability for a senior. I mean, that's the article title. But to make it better for my subscribers, I thought about how can I change it so that it's a you statement? That's simple. The body is going to be a short introduction to the tips. Each tip is a bullet point, and with your product or service link. And let's create the email, shall we? So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to copy paste this to Notepad. And I did this because it removes all of the formatting from Word. If you copy paste directly from Word or PowerPoint or anything other than a text editor to your email service, I use GetResponse, others use Aweber. Copy paste that, it's going to bring over formatting and it's going to be a nightmare for you to make it look good and try to figure out where all the extra spaces and funky fonts came from. So the first thing, copy paste to an editor. I decided that I'm going with a headline, subject line of 5 ways you can improve your stability. That sets them up to know what to expect in the email. They're going to get 5 tips and they're going to be about stability. I started this out with the way I almost always start my emails. I say, hey, I'll let them know it's me and where I'm from. I think it's important that they know that this is this list that I'm sending to, right? This is what they signed up for. So I say, hey there, Charlene here from Seniors Loving Life. Then I need to introduce the tips. Now, I could have just kept the copy from what would be a blog post, but it's so generic. And it's really, it's nice, but it is boring, quite honestly. Don't want to read that in an email. So instead, what I did was I said, you know what? Maintaining good balance is important at any age. See, I don't want to be specific about seniors, but I do want to address that they're seniors. So maintaining good balance is important at any age. When you are younger, good balance is mostly a matter of keeping your core muscles strong and maybe feeling lucky you didn't inherit the family gene for clumsiness. One way I could spice this up if I wanted to is just to say, and maybe you're feeling lucky you didn't inherit the family gene for clumsiness. Yes, my middle name is not Grace, right? That would be me. I would put something like that. But as we age, other factors creep in. Remember, I'm introducing these 5 points. So, and these are the other factors: weakened muscles, poor vision, compromise some of our steadiness, as can some medications. Ultimately, though, I get to the point where I introduce this and I say, fortunately, there are a number of things you, me, and other seniors can do to reduce the likelihood of falling. Here are 5 ways, right? Here are 5 ways we can improve our stability. Now, at this point, I have not edited these tips. I've just simply removed the intro. And I think they need to be edited because we're still talking about, it's pretty heavy, right, as an email. If I were to put this into an email, let's do it this way. One way to check ourselves is, what would this actually look like? I can reduce the size of my, now it looks like a lot of content, doesn't it? This is the way it's going to look in an email. If you ever really want to know, change your margin so that your right-hand margin is 2.5 inches. And this is what it'll look like. And you get a feeling for, uh-oh, that's way too much information. All right, so I'm going to keep my points so I know that 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are going to stay. All I'm going to do is give a summary of what that point is. What I can do, having gone through this, I know that they don't need an introduction to the tip. I can get rid of the first paragraph, bring this up, because this is balance specific exercises. Well, some exercises, see what I'm doing? I'm going to tighten this up. Some exercises require you to use various pieces of equipment. I want you to read this out loud as you're editing, right? Such as dumbbells and balance balls. Others don't need anything other than your body. You know what? That's all I need. That's all I need for that particular point. Look how much I tightened that up. When you do this, you're making it your own, you're tightening it up, and you're making it appropriate for an email. Stretching exercises. Don't need the intro piece, right? I want to take out these extra words. Remember, I'm reading out loud as I'm editing. You're not hearing me read out loud, but that's what I'm doing. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to have those 2 lines. I did a quick read ahead. So you see what I'm doing? I've managed to take a lot of words and bring it down to single lines, maybe 2, so that it's easier to read in an email. Same thing applies all throughout. So each one, see, don't need this. We just need know about it. Staying active can help you avoid some of these common conditions. These are things to consider. It's important. Yeah, I'm going to keep that in there because it makes sense, right? Because if you are overweight, this will help with your overall condition. And nope, actually, I'm going to take that out because I don't think that it's really that necessary for these 5 points. Good shoes. You'd be surprised at what a good pair of shoes can do for your stability. I actually like everything. To take out the bottom one, And then we've got walking aids. Ask your doctor if a walking aid's right for you. We know this is about improving stability, so I'm going to take out that little bit extra. I'm tightening it up. I'm going to change this to be they. Again, why use all the words when you don't need to? They will be able to prescribe you the right level of assistance. That's just crazy. Are you kidding me? That's allows. This is what I do when I'm editing a piece of PLR. They will be able to prescribe you the right walking aids. And all I'm saying here is for some people, these aids, because again, get rid of the unnecessary words, are only temporary help that can improve by allowing you to be more active as you build up more muscle, be able to walk unassisted again. All right, good enough. Look how much I tightened that up. Here's my email. Oh, wait a second. I've got to finish it off, don't I? Because I have to have a call to action and add my link and sign off. So my final is, I hope you found these tips helpful. Something I always do with an email, I'm going to say 98% of the time, if I'm going to ask them to respond to me. So what I'm going to do, and I recommend you do this too, if you have tips you'd like to share with me that I can share with others, feel free to reply to this email and let me know about them. And before I go, see, it's casual, I'm having a conversation with you. That's the other secret to doing a really good email. I'm having a conversation with you. So, and before I go, I do want to let you know about this handy guide I came across. I created, because this one happens to be my product. I created. It includes numerous exercises that are similar to yoga. This kind of sets them up to know what do you mean just numerous exercises? I've got exercises. What do I want exercises for? But if I include something as simple as, it includes numerous exercises that are similar to yoga, so they're low impact, yet highly effective for keeping you fit without all the sweat, because my list happens to want that. You can get it here. Just so you know, I'm making this up as I go along, because I don't have a site called Seniors Loving Life, although I might one day. So, guide to yoga-like exercises. We're going to assume you have a better title. I'm going to put my link on there. When I upload it to my autoresponder, right, or to my email service, I will hyperlink that to go to my product. All right. Let's see. Stay fit, stay cool. Until next time, always have fun. And then I sign off. At this point, I would save it into my file, and then I would go to my autoresponder and simply copy, paste this, and then format from there. With regard to formatting, I'm going to do it in Word so that you can see what I would do if I did but we're going to pretend we are in my email service provider system. So there's my headline, there's my subject, my intro. And I've decided that when I'm doing, even when it's numbered, I'm going to bold my tips. it helps when you are reading an email to be guided to what's important, okay? And you bold what's really important. That's one reason. Another reason is so that your reader can see just about how much information is actually in this email, and is it worth my time to read all this? And generally speaking, with 5 tips such as this, most are going to show up. I say there's 5 tips, I can see 5. Even if I see 4, I see it's really not that long of an email, and I'm going to be interested in reading it. Now at this point, I could, like I said, this would be hyperlinked. I could also bold or italicize something down here if I really wanted to. I could add an image in my signature. That's up to you. Now it's up to you when it comes to design. I'm going to leave that to you. It's reflective of your brand, of what you offer your subscribers. And that would be the email. Now, having said that, one thing that needs to happen is please remember to add your links. Please remember to add your links. I can't tell you how many times first 1 or 2 you send out, you forget to add your links. I'm going to show you another option, and that is to use either a cheat sheet or a checklist. Often, this is what you'll find in a PLR package. You might have articles and you just don't want to, it's just not appropriate for what you want to share or sell or say, but you do have a checklist that matches a product that you are wanting to promote. Now, here's the beauty of this cheat sheet. You can see it has multiple steps, okay? And hang on as I scroll down, because I'm going to show you that we have 6, 7, 8, 9 steps. We are not going to create one email with 9 steps. This is using a strategic way to use this cheat sheet for emails. You know what we're going to do? You're going to create 9 different emails. You now have a series you can send to your list. And there's a couple of different ways you can set up sending to your list. And what I mean by that is you can send an email in the first one and say, this is going to be the email 1 of 9. So you can expect more and keep your eyes open for it. You could set it up with an email even before the series starts and just say, I want to prepare you that I'm going to be sending a sequence of, or a series of 9 emails to you all about modern email marketing and segmentation. All right. We're going to do the same thing here that we did with the other, and that is we're going to copy paste to a text doc. Now, this is what I did. I already started the intro. I have only step 1. I'm not going to go through all 9. I'm just going to show you step 1 because it's formatted similarly to the other steps. What's the purpose of this email? What's the purpose of this tip? Well, this tip is all about how to find your market, right? Finding who to market to. Where are they? Well, that makes sense as a headline, so that's going to be it. Hi there, Charlene here from Online Marketing Pros. Actually, that was a company of mine at one time, so just so you know, I know what I'm talking about here. I know about senior stuff because I have a background in home health care, writing for it. So here we are. We've got finding who to market to. I introduce myself so they know who I am. And I'm hearing from many of you that one of the most confusing parts of online marketing is figuring out who to market to. I want you to see how many times I'm using the word you. You know who needs your product. You know who wants your product. You can describe in detail exactly the person who is your ideal customer. The big question is, where are they? Today, I'll share a tip and some tools that will help you find who you will market your business to. I'm taking us straight from the cheat sheet. So now I'm into the cheat sheet part, right? This is all PLR. So at this point, well, look what this is. This is about find niche, find niche. Okay, niche. I'm going to alternate between the two in case you prefer one or the other. How's that? All right, so today I'll share a tip and some tools that will help you find who you will market your business to. Let's begin with finding a niche. Yeah, I just replaced or reworded this, right? Let's begin with finding words. It's a good idea to be in a niche, right? You are personally passionate about. See what I did? This is like any other rewrite of a PLR. I'm just kind of adding my own flavor to a tip or the message. Determine if there is an existing demand. You can do this by loading keywords and topics into Google Keyword Planner tool. Next, let's look at the Planner tool. I'm just going to leave this as is right now because it makes sense. It's actually showing them there's no reason. Oops. Got to change that out, right? Because I'm editing PLR. Trends. Wait a second. Now I'm going into, here's another tool. I can't type. Sorry about that. Google Trends. Again, because I'm email, I want to make this a little more conversational. This is where you find, this is how you found, right? This is how you find where your audience is currently hanging out online. And then I'm just going to leave these. Are you seeing what's happening here? I don't have to do a whole lot of editing, but I need to tighten it up a little bit. And we're going to say I'm done. All right. Of course, there are more ways to, there are more places where your market is hanging out. That's why I think you should get a copy of the Modern Email Marketing Guide. You can see it here. Get your copy today and let me know what you think. Until next time, marketing. Now again, we're going to do the same thing in that, meaning I'm going to copy paste this over to Word so you can see if I were putting this in email in my get response account, maybe how I would format it. Now there's all kinds of things. This is what I'm going to do. I am going to simply separate this. You want to use bullet points, if you can use check marks, if you can use interesting symbols, something again that makes it easy for me to read this in an email. And here's where is an excellent place to bold. The big question is, where are they? Because it's true, that is the big question, right? So I glance through here and I see that these are already bullet pointed, so I'm just going to move those in. Same thing with these bullet points. Let's indent them. Are you seeing how it makes this a little easier to read? The other thing I want to caution you about is making multi-sentence paragraphs, 1 to 2 sentences. If you can split it up, do it. This is email, remember, it's not a blog post, it's not an article. There are instances where paragraphs are appropriate. In this case, though, because it's a tip that I'm sending, it is a list like the 1 through 5 tips I just did from the article. It's not necessary to have dense paragraphs. Well, so we missed one over here. See, just as if I were in my email service. Already catching that there's a grammar issue, fixed it, and then whatever guide I have, this is where I'm going to hyperlink it. And in this case, one more tip when it comes to email, if you're trying to market or sell it something, the PS is your friend. This guide really is your secret to success with email marketing. Discover the secrets I use. And that would be hyperlinked. Okay. So we're pretending that that's my email. Remember to copy paste directly to your email system, and then remember to add your links. Did I say that enough? Remember to add your links. So I used a different type of content, checklist or a cheat sheet. In this case, I used a cheat sheet because that's what I had handy. And that's it. So now we're to the point where I get to tell you to connect with me either on my website, searchbyburke.com, where you can sign up to get blog updates. I update my blog about once a week. Right now, I'm actually doing a series about email. GrowPLR.com is where I have article packs and videos. You can reach out to me at info@searchbyburke.com. I am on LinkedIn and Facebook under my name, Charlene Burke. Feel free to connect with me there. Let me know how you found me. And this concludes how to use PLR for email content. So now I'm going to open this up for questions. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and see if we have any questions. And there we are.
First of all, thank you so much, Charlene. I learned a few things while you were doing that. I'm not any stranger to doing it, but there were definitely some tips in there that were great for me. One thing, I actually made some notes. One thing though, on that last one, I timed it sort of. I had checked my clock right before you started it, and then I just checked it again. It took about 10 minutes to do that edit. So for anybody who's watching this and learning from it, it doesn't have to be a long process to write your emails.
That's actually a lot shorter than you staring at a blank screen, wondering what you are going to write in that
Exactly.
email, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, 10 minutes is good, actually. So you figured less than 15 minutes, it's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loaded, ready to send up.
Exactly. A couple of things that I'm walking away from was your call to action, where you ask your reader to share something with you that you can then share with other people. That's something that we're trying to encourage in the UsePLR group, but I think I'm definitely going to add that to our newsletter going forward, because we're trying to encourage the community to interact, and if that means we have to share them to get them to interact, that's great. So I really liked that. Bruce,
Good.
did you have anything?
I was just amazed at how easy it is to shorten things down, because I never know what to take out and what to leave in, and you made it seem so easy.
It's easy with practice. All right. The secret when it comes, especially to writing for email, is to ask yourself, and when you're at the point, oh, do I get rid of this or do I keep it? Is how important is it to the main message of the email? That's why it's so important that you have one thing you're going to be focused on for that email. The one thing that I was focused on with the article email was stability. So it had to be related to balance and stability. There were some things in there that referenced other tools, something about the shoes. There was just a little too much in there. It wasn't necessary, because the tip was really focused on just about balance or stability. When you have just the one topic, one point that you want to make in that email, it makes it a lot easier to edit, a lot easier.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Do you have an idea of what is a good length, just in general, for one email? And then the follow-up to that is there a good length for a series? Like, how many would be in a series? Do you lose people at a certain point or not?
So some things to consider is the length is determined by the vital information that has to be projected. All right. So there are some emails that are 1,200 word emails, and they are perfect for the audience. They are specific. They are expected. It is who that person is, and it is what the audience expects when they sign up. And generally speaking, what I make sure to do is I make sure to mix up the lengths of the emails. So if I have a series of 3, 5, 7, 9, right? I will have maybe the first one might be 200 words. The second one might be 550 words. The third one might be 100 words. Short, I mean, really short and quick. The next one might be 250 to 300 words. I will vary the lengths, and it's for a couple of reasons. Your open rates are directly related to the statistics of what's happening with your list. So this isn't let's get people to read the email. What we want people to do is we want people to engage, because that will affect whether or not your email service provider sees you as a viable email marketer, because really that's what they're looking at you as, whether you see yourself as that or not. And one way to do that, keep people engaged, is to test and to offer information in various ways. So even though somebody is expecting long emails, what we have seen, what I have seen in studies, research, what I've seen with my own customers, and what I've seen on my own list, is I'll get a really high spike response from a 200 word email. Now, 200 word email isn't but the equivalent of maybe 2 paragraphs. Remember, I'm not talking about words is what I'm talking about, right? Not even characters, but words. And it's short, it's to the point, and I asked them something specific. Now, then I'll get responses from the longer emails because I'm asking for it. But you'll see a spike all of a sudden on the short one, and then you'll see nothing on the next one, and then you'll see a lot of activity on the next one. So by mixing it up between questions being asked, asking them to engage, you'll note that even on the cheat sheet, I didn't ask them to reply with anything, not on that one, it wasn't necessary. But asking them to do something with that email, forward it, that's another thing it could have asked them to do, right? If you think this is helpful to you, how helpful do you think it's going to be to your friend who's struggling with this? It's easy to forward. Just go ahead and forward this to your friend. All of those are stats that now come back to your email service provider. And they're things that you can be thinking about when you are thinking about your subscriber. So the benefit is that it helps with your reputation on your email service provider when you are thinking about your subscriber. So perfect length, there is none. There is none. It's like asking me what the perfect time to send one is. I don't know. I don't know your list.
Okay.
You know.
That's what I figured, but I had to ask because
Yep.
I know somebody else out there is wondering that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the other tip that I really loved, because I hadn't really thought about this, was for anybody who writes their email outside of their email provider, reducing that window so that you have a better idea of what it's going to look like to your viewer. That was huge. I tend to be a really visual person, so that really sticks out for me. But I bet there's a lot of people who don't think that way, who are not, necessarily visually stimulated in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to reduce that before they send it, maybe that's just a really good tool for them to utilize to keep their visitors engaged or readers engaged.
It's one way that I learned to rein myself in, because trust me, I love to get verbose. I will. My first draft of an email could easily be 600-700 words,
Yeah.
and then I have to get that down to 250. But what it will do for me is I'll be writing it out in Notepad, right? And I'll be thinking, oh, this looks great. This is perfect. And then I'll copy paste it over to Word and I didn't do it in this case, but I'll have my margin set at 2.5 inches on the right. I'll say, oh boy. And soon I learned that I could just squeeze it in my notepad and get the same effect, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that this is how one way you can put yourself in the seat of your reader, is literally, what are they seeing?
Yeah.
You know the information is valuable, but what's their experience? Because when you can make their experience a good one, you're that much more ahead.
Absolutely. Ruth, can you think of anything else that maybe our new members and subscribers might wonder about writing or using PLR for emails?
I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. I was trying to take notes and my buddy here came and sat on my book and went to sleep.
I thought maybe I saw him. That's funny. Well, Charlene, I totally appreciate you coming and doing this. Like I said, I know that we have people who are really new to using PLR, and then we have other people who have been around for a long time. And Ruth and I have been doing this for a long time ourselves, and we both walked away with some pretty impressive new stuff. So I'm sure this is going to be valuable to everybody. Why don't you just one more time tell everybody who you are and where they can find you if they need extra help or they want to hire you for anything. Go ahead and give them that, and then I think we can be done with this training for today.
I'm going to share my screen just so that it's all up in front of you, and it makes sense, right? So again, my name is Charlene Burke, search by Burke, Grow PLR. If you're on LinkedIn or Facebook, connect with me. If you want to talk about me writing your emails, that's fine. We'll have that conversation and see what it looks like. I'll talk you through everything that I need. So you need not be concerned about, I may not know enough, meaning you may not know enough, right? Don't worry about that. I've got my questionnaire and we'll have that conversation and I'll let you know if we're a good fit or not. And you'll let me know if you want to work with me.
That sounds great.
Awesome.
Thank you again, Charlene. And for everybody else, we will see you soon, I'm sure. Thank you.